MPWF Fanbase, the first two quarterfinal matches are in. Antonio Goldman will take on Craig David tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Plus Apollo versus Yamasaki Yoshino in the main event. That is huge. But up next right here on the Welcome to YouTube show, a mystery matchup. It was supposed to be a Raw versus SmackDown matchup, but apparently it's being changed. Well, because it's MPWF roster, there's no Raw versus SmackDown anymore. It is just straight one huge roster, and here comes the former World's Heavyweight Champion Joe Eagle, who did not have a good night at the Bash. Joe Eagle vowed to defeat Antonio Goldman and end his career on MPWF Raw, but unfortunately in the last man standing matchup, Joe Eagle fell victim to the Goldstone Piledriver and could not get up at the count of 10 and ended up losing his coveted World's Heavyweight Championship, a belt he has had since being here at the beginning of the YouTube era. Joe Eagle walked onto the scene here on YouTube for the World's Championship. A year later, Joe Eagle does not have that championship anymore, and I can tell you one thing, Joe Eagle is not one happy fella. He is pissed off to the core, and he is going to try and destroy whoever his opponent is tonight here at the Welcome to YouTube show. Joe Eagle is going to want to be a part of that 8-man tournament. And I mean, with the accolades of Joe Eagle is the Grand Slam champion, former Internet champion, former Tag Team champion, former World champion, former MPWF champion. There is no doubt that Joe Eagle will be one of the competitors in the 8-man tournament to crown the undisputed champion. And Joe Eagle just has to prove once more why he is the Messiah of the MPWF, why he is pretty much the best superstar here in the MPWF. I mean, you may not like his attitude, but you gotta respect how good in the ring Joe Eagle is. And now this is gonna be a good match here, ladies and gentlemen. Lamar James Jackson returned at the Bash pre-show of MPWF Metal, where he defeated Lil Sticky, and he proved that his knee is in perfect condition. Lamar James Jackson is back, and what a test for Lamar James Jackson. Now he would love to be a part of this 8-man tournament to crown the next undisputed champion. Look at how pumped Jackson is to be back here in the MPWF, here on 2011, here on the Welcome to YouTube show. Jackson wants to beat Joe Eagle here tonight. And this is going to be a great matchup between Lamar James Jackson and Joe Eagle. This is going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait, MPWF Fanbase. And you guys should be pumped for this action, this competition. And here we go. And Joe Eagle in the face of Jackson. And Lamar James Jackson's not going to mess about with that. Lamar James Jackson is the wrong person to sit there taunting. I know what a shot to the back. And look at these clumsy blows there by Jackson. Jackson came here to fight. He came here to compete. Lamar James Jackson came here to prove that he deserves a shot at the Undisputed Championship. And what a knee there. What a huge knee lift by Lamar James Jackson. And he picks up Joe Eagle. And now, going for that whiplash clothesline there. And now picking back up the Messiah of the MPWF. The king who's, some people say the king of the MPWF. And imagine what the final of the tournament could be. Imagine Apollo versus Joe Eagle. Both men who are considered the kings of the MPWF. And look at Lamar James Jackson doing push-ups. That's going to piss off Joe Eagle. But I mean, seeing as the rosters are joined together, there's so many opportunities for great matches here in the MPWF that you might not be able to see before. And now headlock there by Joe Eagle, and Jackson struggling in the, twisting away at the wrist, and now putting Joe Eagle in a headlock of his own. And now Joe Eagle fights back out. And now, oh, what a knee lift by Joe Eagle, returning the favor to Lamar James Jackson. And now Eagle, again another knee to the face. And he's trying to break the nose of Jackson, and what another knee there by Eagle, making those knees highly effective in his repertoire in this matchup. I mean, Joe Eagle has so many ways to stop his opponents. He can use that spine buster. He could use that pedigree. He could use perhaps one of the most devastating maneuvers in the MPWF, the Land of the Living Skies. I don't want a clothesline there by Lamar James Jackson, dropping the former world's champion. I mean, Lamar James Jackson, who's been working on his wrestling ability. Oh, what a move there! What a power bomb there by Lamar James Jackson. That's what we're talking about. Lamar James Jackson has been sharpening up on his wrestling skills at the University of Minnesota. And now Lamar James Jackson now shooting around with a waistlock and twisting away at the wrist. And now going for, alright, what a hip toss there by Jackson. And Lamar James Jackson said that I mean, if he wasn't living in the hood, he would have been a high school wrestler. He would have been a collegiate wrestler, and he's happy that he has the opportunity to work with the University of Minnesota. And now Irish whip sending Eagle back into the ropes. And now, oh, again with that knee there by Joe Eagle. And that is a go-to move for the former world champion. And now, oh, what a suplex. Look at the strength of Joe Eagle. And now going for the cover, showing his veteran instinct. And here we go. And oh, Jackson kicks out at 2. I mean, Joe Eagle, I mean, he's had some tough matches over these past couple weeks. Remember that matchup on MPWF Metal Episode 9 against Lethal Mathematics? He almost lost that matchup. Joe Eagle did not expect to have that tough a matchup against Lethal Mathematics. I mean, these young guys are getting good in the MPWF. What a chop block there by Joe Eagle, going straight to the injured knee of Lamar James Jackson. I mean, it is supposed to be 100%, but I mean, Joe Eagle will exploit it so it's not, and going for that camel clutch, but Jackson showing his strength and powers right out of that camel clutch. And Joe Eagle's going to have to go back to the drawing board for that one. And now, they're in a head and arm. Oh no, twisting away, slapping away at the wrist. And again with that knee. And that knee is effective. That knee is disorienting Lamar James Jackson. What a DDT there by Joe Eagle. And now Joe Eagle going for, what is this here? Oh, figure 4 leg lock. A beautiful move here by Joe Eagle, and this is a perfect way to exploit the knee injury. We are now about to find out if Lamar James Jackson is truly at 100%. Will Jackson tap out? And he is in a world of pain here. Oh, look at Joe Eagle. He's constantly just raising his butt off the ground a bit to work on that knee. And oh, Jackson fights out though. The strength of Jackson's legs. And oh, Joe Eagle finds himself in a precarious position here. And Jackson fights out the figure 4 leg lock. And now Jackson with a waist lock. And now what's this? Oh, what a beautiful mat slam there by Lamar James Jackson, shooting around on Joe Eagle. There's Jackson working away at the arm of Joe Eagle. And now picking back up the former world champion. Now Irish whip. Joe Eagle bouncing off the rope. And now, oh, what a beautiful T-bone suplex there by Lamar James Jackson. Dropping down Joe Eagle. And Joe Eagle in a world of trouble now. Irish whip. Sending Joe Eagle back in the turnbuckle. Look at the power and strength of Jackson, as he just clotheslines and absolutely drops Joe Eagle. And now Jackson appearing on the top rope. And oh wait, no, Joe Eagle throwing him off the top rope. Jackson took too long on the top rope to capitalize there. And now Joe Eagle again back to those knees. Joe Eagle has a game plan and he is sticking to it. And now elbow drop off the top rope by Joe Eagle. And Joe Eagle dropping the elbow in the gut of Jackson. And now, oh, dropping his knee right in the elbow, right in the forearm of Jackson. And now Irish whip. Jackson heading to the ring. Oh, yes, he was heading to the outside of the ring. He did end up on the outside of the ring. Again, another knee. And look at the chop block there by Joe Eagle. And oh, wait, Joe Eagle going for a figure 4 leg lock on the outside of the ring. And Joe Eagle now wrenching back on Lamar James Jackson's knee. And this is what we're talking about. Look, Joe Eagle knew that Jackson's knee was injured. And Joe Eagle's going to exploit that injury. That figure 4 leg lock on the outside of the ring. Lamar James Jackson now trying to get back inside. And Joe Eagle now throwing him back off the turnbuckle again. I mean, Jackson's struggling with that knee. And Joe Eagle has found the weak point. And I don't think that knee is 100%. And if it was 100%, it's not anymore. Joe Eagle working away at that leg, trying to break the knee of Lamar James Jackson, but Jackson willing himself on. This crowd willing Jackson on. Jackson will not tap here and survives and brings Joe Eagle back over. And Lamar James Jackson running back. And oh wait, oh, Joe Eagle going with a waist lock. And oh, again another chop block to that knee. Dropping Jackson and that knee once more. There's Joe Eagle. Kick to the gut. And oh wait, pedigree. Pedigree time, ladies and gentlemen. Can Jackson escape? And no! What a pedigree there by Joe Eagle. Absolutely drops Lamar James Jackson on his face. And now what? Joe Eagle isn't done yet. Joe Eagle dragging Lamar James Jackson to the center of the ring. And now, oh, what a knee to the face there by Joe Eagle. And now telling Jackson to suck it. I think there's another pedigree coming, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, that's the exclamation point there by Joe Eagle. 2 pedigrees in a row. And now Jackson in a world of trouble. Can he kick out? 1, 2, 3. And that's it. Joe Eagle defeats Lamar James Jackson. What a contest between these two men here tonight on the Welcome to YouTube show. And here's some highlights of the match. And that knee was so effective in this contest. Joe Eagle constantly went after those knees, dropping him in the face. And there's the first pedigree right there. I thought, well, this one was over. Jackson wasn't kicking out of this, but Joe Eagle wanted to make a point. And again drops him with a second pedigree. And here's the second one with the suck it, the exclamation point. and Joey Eagle is victorious here tonight at the Welcome to YouTube show. I mean, Joey Eagle for sure has to be one of the top choices to win the 8-man tournament, and I do believe that he will be a part of it. Will Joey Eagle be the next undisputed champion? There is a very, very, very strong chance that that will happen. But ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again. We will be heading for another break, but when we return, you will get to see more of this fan appreciation night, more of the Welcome to YouTube show.